Question number 1A deals about ethics and problem solving. Both are mentioned in your syllabus. Yes or no? Whether problem solving is mentioned in your syllabus, it's clearly mentioned. It's not in any module. In the introduction itself, it says that using the case study approach, we will be testing your ability to solve a particular problem. It's mentioned in the syllabus itself. Now, in this particular question, okay, the question is about explain how ethics helps in individuals and communities problem solving. Now, my question is, how many of you have written, when you see this itself, do you have example to this question? See, here I want you to automatically to have some examples in you to elaborate your point. There are two parts to this question. Okay, now this is very, very, very important. Okay, in some question it will be having 2 parts, in some question it will be having 3 parts. There will be no single dimension question. In ethics paper, there will not be any single dimension. You check 13, 14, 15, 16, 4-year ethics question paper. There has not been any single dimension question other than like what have been asked, like Gandhiji's concept of 7 C's. So that's a direct question. Now, why I am telling you the benefit of example is that normally what happens is that many of the students will be having answer to one part of the question. They don't have answer to the other 2 parts of the question. Now, if you don't answer the other 2 parts, you will be getting answer only to the one part of the question. So, if now you check this question, okay, this question is having 2 parts in relation to the question relation. Okay, the question is, first they are asking how explain how ethics helps in individuals problem solving and communities problem solving. That is the first part of the question. So, and the second part is 1B is why it is important to consider ethics while solving problems. Now, if you read the question carefully, both the part, whether it is 1A and 1B, the question is about ethics and problem solving. Do you have any doubt in it? No. The question is about ethics and problem solving. So, in this question, what approach, you need to have a small intro. Okay, so how will you start? Whether you start with ethics or whether you start with problem solving depends upon you. You can use it both way. So, here you can write about the significance of solving a problem. Solving a problem. So, now try to understand that, okay, you can start like this. I think nobody have done it. You should start with writing about a problem. A problem, what is, now you tell me that is there any individual or community without any problem? You are linking to the question. You frame it in such a way that you start with, okay, how problems are encountered. Normally when you are faced with a problem, mention the significance of solving it at the earliest. Since the question is about problem solving, there is a very important point in relation to solving a problem. As a civil servant, when you become a civil servant, keep this in mind, you will be always have to deal with a problem. You have to solve a problem. Now, what is the most important criteria about problem solving is that you have to take decision at the right time. Taking decision at the right time is the most important quality of a problem solver. If you delay it for a minute, if you delay it for a second, if you delay it for a day, things will get worse and you can't recover it. Think about many cases in which taking steps at the right time, taking decision at the right time have prevented many disasters. So now what happens with you? You are a civil servant. Okay, you are seeing a crisis, but you are not doing anything. Why? Order have not come from the top. What will you do? You will never wait for the order. You should act. You should solve it. So sometimes it can affect your career also, because if it goes wrong, but it's about your conscience, it's about your moral principles, which will help you to take a decision. That's the role of ethics. Ethics is nothing but it's your moral principles which guides you. Ethics is what? It's set of moral principles which guides your action, which controls your behavior. It's your ethics decides to do this decision at this time. If I wait for the top orders to take a decision, I'm doing a wrong act. I'm not ethically correct. You can just pinpoint, okay, from the individual point of view. From the individual point of view, how ethics helps for the individual in solving problem. Ethics help him to solve the problem on the right time. This is the first point for individual. Ethics is guiding him. How ethics is guiding him to solve the problem on correct that time itself. Because for him, his principles, his moral principles is saying that you have to do this act now itself. Otherwise, depending on it, if you delay it, things will get worse. And also sometimes in case you have to abstain from certain acts. So why you abstain? Why you don't act? When somebody is telling you to do this, something wrong act, which is very closer to you. Your very close friend, your childhood friend, is asking you to do something. But your principle says that, your moral principle says that no, it's a wrong act. Even though he's your good friend, what he's asking you or suggesting you is that, so this will prevent you to do. So this is how ethics helps in your individual problem solving when you are faced with a problem. So like that, same the case of community also. In communities, I am just giving you example how you can use the example. Take the case of community problems. Okay, every type of community. So since the question is about community, okay, you take rural community, you take urban community. So don't take only religious dimension. When you hear, see, this is another problem with us. We consider people only from the don't see. At the maximum, try to avoid controversies in your answers. You can use it neutral words. Community can be rural community, community can be urban community, community can be village community. Okay, now you take a particular village, so it's for your safer side. Take the case of a village community, the problems faced by a village. Now you take in India, there's a very, see, this one, I'm giving you one example now, wait, so we can, out of your 40 example, one example you take, honor killing. Now, have you seen this news about honor killing? Is it practiced in India? Yes. Now, how community and honor killing is related? Village community give the approval for honor killing. Kaap Panchayat. Yes or no? It's Kaap Panchayat approve the honor killing. How they do it? What is the reason for, what is this honor for them? Why they kill their children? Especially women? Because it's, so after killing that person, the honor will be regained. What is this? Here lies the importance of ethics, the role of ethics. The role of ethics in dealing with, so even without knowing, if you are having lack of points to elaborate your answer, examples will help you to substantiate this way. See, there are other, like now you can take international community. When you say that, okay, the community can be that, you can take global community. Rohingya crisis, you need to understand when community is faced with a problem, which try to understand that it affects, these words are very important, social order, social solidarity, this word you use it, because when we talk about community, these things are very important, okay, social coherence, see, we use the words different, don't use the same word again and again. Sometimes if you are using social solidarity, sometimes you use social coherence, like use different words. Here, for a community, you know, the most important strength of a community, you take any community, their strength lies in their social solidarity. Any village, if it has progressed and developed, the reason is very simple. It's because of their social cohesion or social solidarity. So for a community, ethics, so when the community is faced with a problem, ethics helps in solving. So for example, you can give this example, okay, when community have a problem, this has been, so it's the ethics guides them, since they are not, see, killing in for whatever reasons never be a ethical act. For whatever reason, killing an innocent person can't be a, killing a terrorist is different, so you can't use general word, okay. So depends, so killing this word is very important. In any instant, killing an innocent person is a unethical act. Okay, so when community, so for a community living, since social order and social solidarity is very important, so it helps, ethics helps community in solving their own problems. Ethics helps them community solve, so that it will help them to maintain social order, social solidarity within the community. Now, here, the second part of the question. What is the importance of ethics while solving problems? Why ethics is required? So when you are, see, this is a common problem, okay. For every person, this issue is there. Conflict of interest arises when you solve a problem. Yes or no? When you try to solve a problem, conflict of interest arises. So so ethics helps in dealing with problems like, so this is one point you can write in dealing with conflict of interest. Then how ethics helps in, okay, to prevent, see, you can use this word, okay, common, social common, or common good, or common property, to prevent damage to the common good. Sometimes it will be electricity connection or transformer, whatever it is. So, or you can use this word, so common good or social order, to maintain social order, or to prevent damage to common good. You can do that. You require ethics. Now, third is very important, okay, to ensure public trust. So when a problem knows it, okay, the problem have to be dealt, or the problem has to be solved for the permanently. Long-term solution means that problem should not come back. So if ethics is there, if you have solved a particular problem with the, while means with, like ethics have means influenced when a problem has been solved. When ethics is there in solving a problem, what does it mean? Ethics always stand for the good. Ethics will never ask you to do a wrong act. So thereby what will happen is that when you solved a problem, and if there is, you have considered ethics, it will help you to broaden, or like this will, like the public trust will increase. This very common word, you need to use it, but use it only once. Public trust. So here ethics can play a role in not only creating trust, public trust, but also public confidence in the governance system of the country. It will help in ensuring ethical governance. You can use the word ethical governance. Like that you can use your frame your answers.